I just went to the best makeup artist and she did what she did.
Welcome back to my channel. We are going to start with hydrating the skin. So I'm going in with my Urban Decay All-Nighter Pollution Protection, and I am going in with a flat foundation brush to evenly distribute this product all over her skin. This product retails for $34 and it is vegan. So my client has normal to oily skin. Because of that, I am using my Urban Decay All-Nighter Face Primer. It is referred to as their long wear foundation grip. It promises 8 hours of wear. It feels really good on the skin. It's smoothing, and this product is also vegan and cruelty free, and it retails for $36. For the brows, I definitely like to start out by grooming them with my spoolie, just brushing them up and outward so you can get that full shape. I've also been trying a new technique. So as of lately, I've been really enjoying using mascara to tint the brows and help them stay in place. If your client tends to sweat a lot, I would definitely recommend using waterproof mascara if you do use the technique. Once I put the mascara through the brows, I definitely go back in with the spoolie and just comb that product through. And then I go in with my brow pencil. And I'm going to be using my NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Espresso. I am going along the base of the brow just so it has a slightly more defined shape. And I'm just going through the brow and just filling in those sparse areas very lightly. I want the brows to look snatchural. So snatched but natural. So my favorite part, which is cleaning up the brows, I am going in with my E.L.F. Hydrating Camo Concealer in the shade Deep Olive. I am using a flat concealer brush to do this. You definitely want to make sure you take your time on the brows. I feel like the brows just shape the entire face. So I do feel like this is where most of your time should be spent. But yeah, this concealer is absolutely great. It's only $6 and I pick it up from Target. Now, as much as I love my E.L.F. Hydrating Concealer, I did feel like it was a little bit too golden yellow on her skin tone. So as an alternative, I'm going in with my LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Cool Tan, and it's a bit more neutralizing on her skin tone. And as I blend it out, I'm doing more so like tapping motions, because swiping it back and forth, it almost as if it's like wiping the product away. So if you just tap it as you're blending it out, it actually gives you a more even coverage. And once I have everything blended out, I go through with my spoolie to do one final comb through. Now we're going to get started on the eyes. So I'm going in with House Lannister from my Urban Decay Game of Thrones palette. So I'm stippling this color into her crease and kind of bringing it up closer to her brow bone as well, because this color is going to act as a transition shade. So I'm taking this dark orange from my Pop Beauty Desert Dusk Lightshow palette, and I'm using that shade to deepen her crease some more. And this palette retails for $16. To add a light smokiness to the outer corners of her eye, I'm going in with my Mented Everyday Eyeshadow Palette. This retails for $28 and it is also vegan and cruelty free. So all I'm doing here is taking the darkest brown in that palette and I'm focusing it primarily on the outer V of her eye, and I'm slightly dragging it into the crease, but most of it's focused on that outer V. Now to instantly elevate this eye look, I'm going in with my Pixi Glittery Eye Quad in Rose Bronze, and I'm taking this top right glitter here and I'm just pressing it onto the lid with my finger. I love these quads because they don't require glue and it just saves so much time when you're trying to do those glittery eyeshadow looks. To line her lids, I'm going in with my MAC Black Track Pro Longwear Fluid Line Eyeliner Gel. Whew, that's a mouthful. And this retails for $19. So in my last client makeup tutorial that went viral, you guys had so many questions in regards to how I match foundation for my clients. So as you can see, I literally just color match on their chest. So the more shades that you have to test out, the better, because certain shades might look similar when you initially put them on, but given a few minutes, once they start to oxidize, it could be a completely different story. So whichever shade disappears and doesn't go dark on you, that is the shade that you want to go with. So this shade here, the last one that I put on, it virtually disappeared. So that is the shade that I decided to go with for her. Color correcting is a really great time to allow those foundation swatches to sit for a bit to see if they will or will not oxidize. So to color correct her skin, I am going in with my RK by Kiss Orange Concealer. And I'm just going in and spot treating the dark spots that she has on her face. And I'm going over the spots that have the orange concealer on them with my LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Cool Tan. I like to go in with like a lighter shade than the foundation, just a slightly lighter shade, because I just feel like it really helps cover those dark spots for me. Once everything's covered to my liking, I go in with my damp beauty blender and I just gently pat it out. If you have a spot that's like more so like a dark bump, you more so want to kind of blend around it like I'm doing here on this spot next to her mouth. So now we're going in with the foundation, and I am using my CoverGirl True Blend Matte Foundation in the shade D10. It is described as a golden caramel or golden caramel. And this is the one that disappeared on her chest, which is very important when color matching, because when you do the foundation, you want to make sure you choose something that you can actually pull down onto the neck that will disappear. So I think it's very important to understand that we are not all one flat color. So when I put this foundation on certain parts of her face, some parts it might look too light. Some parts it might look too dark. So what you have to keep in mind is that as long as it matches the neck on down, you're good. Because we're going to go in with that highlight and contour later on anyway to bring the lightness back to where it needs to be, as well as create those shadows where they need to be too. And so the end result will be this perfectly balanced masterpiece. So when applying the foundation, I do like to initially apply it with the foundation brush, but I like to go in over it with my beauty blender as well. The reason why is because I feel like the beauty blender gives you this streak-free application. It smooths everything out. It's especially good if you ever feel like your foundation is too heavy, because it'll just go in and gently thin it out and leave you with this airbrushed finish. Now we're going to start the highlighting and contouring, which is my favorite part because I feel like it just brings everything together. Now, to highlight underneath her eyes and all of the high points of her face, I'm going in with my LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Cool Tan. And I am pulling the concealer in towards the center of her nose. This is just a slimming technique. It's going to help the nose appear slimmer than what it actually is. To blend out the concealer, I am using my trusted beauty blender, and I am just using a really light hand to just blend this out. And my technique is just to go in and continuously bounce the blender as I go, and it just blends the product out beautifully. You'll also notice that I will flip the beauty blender over to the other side when I need to blend those edges out, and I do that so that the product doesn't continue to spread further across the face than I intend for it to. And this is great too because the other side of that blender doesn't have any product on it, so it will help diffuse those lines perfectly. To contour, I'm going in with my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Espresso, and I'm using my E.L.F. stipple brush to blend the contour out. This stipple brush is my absolute favorite when it comes to blending out cream and liquid contours on my clients. It is $3 at Target, so if you don't have it, you should definitely check it out because, I mean, I just love these little brushes. To contour the nose, I just squeeze that little stipple brush together and drag whatever leftover product is on that brush down the sides of the nose. And then I just take the leftover product that's in my blender and go down the center of the nose. I like to make sure the contour doesn't overshadow that high point. To set her concealer, I am going in with my Color du Jour No More Shine powder. I love this powder so much because it does not give you flashback, so you can actually bake with it if you want to. And I'm also going in with that highlighted concealer onto the center of her forehead as well as her chin. I almost forgot to highlight those areas, so I'm going back now and doing it because I love highlighting the center of the forehead and the chin. To dust her powder away that's been baking, I'm going in with my Color du Jour number 20 brush. This is my favorite brush for this step. It just sweeps it away effortlessly and just leaves this flawless finish. Next, I'm going to bake with my trusted Ben Nye banana powder. I love baking with this powder because I feel like it just gives such a smooth finish to the skin. And I'm going to dust this away as well with my Color du Jour number 20 brush. To set her foundation, I am going in with BH Cosmetics Pro Studio Powder in the shade 240 to set that liquid foundation that we've put down. I love this foundation because it provides such great coverage, it's mattifying, and it's really affordable too. To set her contour, I'm going in with my Sir John X Luminess Lion King palette. I am using the shade Marula to warm her up, and as you can see, it is just effortlessly beautiful. And Sir John is actually Beyonce's makeup artist, so I am so excited about this palette. To set her nose contour, I am just squeezing this brush together and using the leftover product on it to drag that product down the sides of her nose to set that contour and to really help that nose contour stand out a little bit more. To set her highlight, I'm going in with my Mented Cosmetics X Ashley Blaine. This is in the shade Season 1, and I'm taking this lightly golden highlight in here, and I'm applying it to the high points of her face. Now, I do like to spray the skin first prior to applying the highlight because I feel like doing this step just allows for the highlight to show up really well. To balance out that contour and highlight and bring a little bit of color to her skin, I'm going in with my MAC See Me Hear Me blush. This is from their Aquatic collection, so it is discontinued. But when I apply the blush, I like to apply it right in between the bronzer and highlight just to kind of marry everything together. To add some definition to her lips, I'm going to be lining her lips with my RK by Kiss Ultra Easy Lip Liner in the shade Brown. For her lipstick, I'll be going in with my Lion King lipstick made by Sir John X Luminess in the shade Pounce. If you know me, you know I really like to customize my lip shades for my clients. I can never use one lipstick. So on top of that, I'm going in with my MAC Arrowhead lipstick from their Vibe Tribe collection. I decided to take this fluffy synthetic type brush by Pixi and blend the lipstick into the liner itself. It blended it so beautifully into the lip line. It just looked so natural. I loved it. For added shine, I'm going in with my Aaliyah X MAC gloss in the shade Brooklyn Born. For added intensity, I'm going along her lower waterline with my Sephora Kohl liner in Intense Black. For mascara, I'm going in with my Maybelline Great Lash Mascara. This is a classic, and I am using my tried and true wiggle and pull technique. So you wiggle at the base for volume, and then you kind of pull towards the tips of the lashes for length. For her falsies, I'm going in with these 3D foaming lashes that I pick up from Touch of Beauty. And I love these because they don't break the bank. They're only $2.99. So when applying my falsies, I go in initially just to measure it. Once it's measured, I will cut off what's needed, and then I'll go in a second time to measure to make sure it really fits, and then I go in and glue it on. The glue I use is Duo Lash Glue. To cover any eye glue peeking through, I'm going in with my CoverGirl liquid eyeliner in the shade 320. I'm going to go ahead and smoke out her lower lash line using my Smashbox Full Exposure palette in this dark brown, and I'm using a little smudge brush to go in and just smoke out that lower lash line. Now I'm going in with mascara onto her lower lash line, and this is really just to help balance out those falsies that I've already put on her top lash line. To brighten her tear ducts, I am going in with my Pixi Liquid Fairy Lights in the shade Mirage. So we needed to take a break because my battery died, so I'm going in and just touching up her lips again with everything that I used before because she went to go change and she took her bonnet down, so we're just touching everything up before we finish. Alright, you guys, so that is the completed look. I'm just taking a few photos of her for my social media accounts. Every single product used will be linked down in the description box below for your own convenience. Of course, if you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!